Her hands were trembling when she said it. "Please," she sobbed. "I need to be there. I still love him." That one word stilled her through my chest like a slow, deliberate blade. We were standing in the kitchen. My keys sat on the counter right beside her glowing phone. The screen showed a message. Her ex-boyfriend had wrecked his car, slid into a ditch-critical condition, internal bleeding, emergency surgery, dying maybe. She read the message like the world had stopped turning, like her lungs forgot how to pull in air. Then she turned to me, eyes full of panic, pleading as if I was supposed to save him, as if I owed her that. I didn't speak, just picked up my keys. We drove in silence, the kind that doesn't just fill a car, it strips skin from bone. She sat on the edge of the seat, clutching her phone like it was a lifeline. I kept one hand on the wheel, the other clenched tight in my lap, like it could hold back everything breaking inside me. When we pulled into the hospital lot, she didn't wait. Didn't look at me, didn't even hesitate. She bolted straight into his world, straight out of ours. That night, I returned to an empty house, a hollow silence so dense it felt alive. No drama, no broken plates or slammed doors. Just the soft rustle of fabric and the sound of my heart folding in on itself. I left a note on the counter. "Don't worry. He can have you now." Then I walked out, locking the door behind me like I was sealing a tomb, but it hadn't always been like this. Once, she used to laugh in her sleep-soft little giggles that made me turn toward her in the dark with a smile of my own. She used to kiss me like I was the beginning and the end of her world. She said I was everything, said the kind of words that shaped futures, and I believed her every single lie dressed up as forever. Even when I noticed how often she smiled at messages I never got to see. Even when she went quiet the moment I walked into the room mid-text, I told myself it was nothing. I fed myself. Excuses, paranoia, insecurity, overthinking until doubt clawed its way back from the grave I buried it in and started whispering in my ear. I still love him. Not loved. Not past tense. Still as in right now. Still as in always. Still as in you were never enough. But I didn't explode. I didn't yell. She expected fury, but I'm not who she thought I was. I'm worse. I didn't look for dirt, I looked for truth. Her phone was easy. I'd always known the password, for years together, and she never thought to change it. Trusted me completely, even while betraying me in silence. I found the messages quickly. There weren't many, but enough. Enough to trace the pattern. Enough to read the real story between the lines. She missed him. She dreamed of the past. She still wore his sweatshirt sometimes when I wasn't home. He missed her too. Said he never stopped loving her. Said he didn't even know she was married. That was the punch that knocked the air out of me. She told him I was just someone she was seeing for years. A ring on her finger. Just someone. I didn't confront her. I played along. Morning coffee, shared meals. Her laughter now brittle and hollow, a mimicry of joy long dead. I moved silently, carefully. Spoke to a lawyer, quiet and clean. Had every message printed, time-stamped, cataloged. The lawyer smiled when I handed him the folder. Then I moved money accounts she didn't know existed. She always said I was too frugal. Now, she'd understand why. Every dollar pulled away from her reach like a rug under her feet, and then I waited. Like a snake under floorboards, motionless, patient. Then came the crash, then the hospital, then her confession. And then, my opportunity. She came home 2 days later, pale and hollow. Her eyes dull, her voice worn thin from grieving a man who didn't belong to her anymore. She opened the door to a different house. No keys on the counter, no coat by the rack, no shoes at the door. Just a note, "He can have you now." And then the storm began. Messages. 167, and counting. Please. It wasn't like that. I was confused. I love you. Come back. We can fix this. Each one more pathetic than the last. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Because revenge isn't always screaming and slamming doors. Sometimes revenge is absence. It's the echo of your betrayal bouncing off the empty walls you've built with your lies. Someone seeing you truly, seeing you and walking away without a single word. 2 weeks later, she called my mother. Big mistake. My mother already knew. She asked how she could reach me. Mom said, "You can't. then hung up. I sent the divorce papers the next day, pre-signed, ironclad, a clean cut, no ceremony. She never responded, not with words, just silence, finally, and him. Her ex, he survived. He recovered, but he didn't want her. Turns out, he had someone else. A fiancé. One who stood by his hospital bed while my wife waited in the hall like a shadow, like a stranger, like a fool. She gave up everything for a ghost, and the ghost had already moved on. Now she sits in the wreckage, alone, unwanted. Her calls have slowed. Her messages are quieter, now drier. No more desperation, just a single recurring sentence. I made a mistake. And every time I see it, I smile, 'cause no, she didn't make a mistake. She made a choice. And so did I. I didn't just leave her. I erased her. Clean, quiet, precise, like she never existed. That's the truth about betrayal. You don't always need to scream for justice. Sometimes, justice is silence, and silence is enough.